Hi Scrappy Crafters. I'm going to do some stamping. My main objective, however, isn't the stamping, but I bought this new marker. It's a Spectrum Noir, not a marker, a sparkle pen, a glitter pen. Anyway, it comes in a pack of 3, and the other packs that it comes in have colors. This is only glitter. So what I wanted to test out was to stamp something, color it with the regular Spectrum Noir colored pens, not sparkle, just plain, and then go over them with the sparkle to see what the effect is. So I chose a butterfly stamp. I have this set of stamps and dies. So I'm using the, when you have fake fingernails, you just can't pick anything up. On this set, there's really just 2 dies, and then each die has some choices of stamps. So I chose this stamp. Now I'm looking at it and I'm realizing it's going to be fairly solid, which is going to have an effect on the coloring, but I'm going to use it anyway, and we'll just see how it works out. And then the large butterfly die is in 2 parts. One part is the inner part of the butterfly, and the other is just the outline. So I'm going to use just the outline. I have a clear stamp block, and I'll make sure I have the correct side down on the block. Get that set. Now, this is a brand new stamp. I've never used it before, so the idea is to season it, they say, by just stamping it on your skin clean. So, actually, I'm going to get another. Well, actually, I have enough room to do it on here. What I want to do is I want to stamp once, just to see what kind of an impression I get, and then stamp again with what I'm going to use. And I can see this is having a little trouble getting all over, but I think I've got it now. We'll see. I have a habit of, excuse me one sec. I have a habit of pressing too hard when I stamp, and then I end up smearing my stamp. So I'm going to try to be more careful. I don't know if you can see what happens with that. When you put it down, the ink spreads, but I can see it hasn't spread all the way through. So I am going to press a little bit harder to try to get a full image. Okay, that's not too bad, but it's not good. It's not perfect, I should say. So we're going to ink it again, making sure what I'm doing, I'm using kind of the tip edge of the stamp, so I have a little bit more control over how much pressure I'm putting on it. Okay, that looks pretty good. My wiping. Alright, I'll try this again. Alright, so I'm trying to see, where is it? It's right here that's not making a great impression. But for this time, I'm not going to worry with that, because I'm going to be coloring it in anyway. So now what I want to do is get it set up on the plate so that I can die cut that out. I probably should color it first, but I'm not going to. Alright, so this is a magnetic plate, and I have on it this plastic sticky insert, and that helps, in addition to the magnesium, the magnetic nature of the plate. It would pretty much stay in place anyway, but having the sticky makes sure it stays in place. Plus, now I'm going about this backwards. That's not what I want to do. Having stamped this ahead of time, what I'm going to do is actually put the die right over the stamp. That way we're sure that we get a nice stamping instead of cutting it first and then stamping, and you frequently miss your mark. So, alright, I've got this set up. I'm going to cut it out and I'll be right back. So I'm back. You're going to get to see the reveal the same time I do. Get that off of there. Okay. Well, this sticky is pretty sticky, so I'm going to use. I can already see it's a great impression. Just perfect. Alright, so now I'm going to color it. So that's not where I'm looking for my black Spectrum Noir pen, so I wasn't aware that the head wasn't going to be part of the stamp. So we'll just pull that out. Now, Spectrum Noir pens come with a large tip and a small tip. So I'm going to that up. Okay, so I'm just going to color in the little head and antenna. I'm not going to worry about the other part that's not quite filled in. I'm just going to clean up my mess. Alright, so the two colors that I chose were sort of a fuchsia and a purple. And I think I'll use the large end, and we'll I think I'll just go ahead and do that whole thing. And then we'll come in with some fuchsia. Also use the large end of that. I'm overlapping to see if it, when it blends, what third color will it make. Okay, so there's our butterfly. I'm going to let that dry for a minute while I put this back where it goes so I don't lose it. And also I want to show you, if you're not familiar with either the Spectrum Noir new glitter pens or the Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella also has glitter pens, so if you're not familiar, I want to show you. This is how it comes. It has this band around here. That band keeps the liquid contents from going out of the holder tube. So the first time you use it, you have to pull it apart, open it up, and snap this band off. After you snap the band off, then you twist it down so it's snug, and then on two sides it says push, so that's what you do. You take it and you push it until the liquid comes down and starts to come into the brush. I'm not going to do that with this one because I don't want to open and start two at once, but I just wanted to show you that. And then you just look on this one, closed tighter. I'm not sure what I did here, but I'm just going to leave that, probably because I didn't start the ink. But anyway, this one is already started, so I think that's dry enough for us to do our experiment. So I don't know if you noticed how wide the tip was of that because it hadn't gotten wet yet. This one is coming to a point. So we're just gonna color that in. I'm not sure what you're seeing on the screen. It's getting pretty sparkly. I think I'm gonna spread it a little bit. Thicker. Okay, so I think you can see how the difference between how shiny that is. I don't know if you can see how sparkly it is, but you can see that it's much shinier than the side we haven't done yet. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and sparkle up his little body too. Her, could be her. I just got a dog, and it's a female Pomeranian. It's the first female pet I've ever had. And I have to remember to call her she, because I'm so used to referring to my pets as he. Alright. So, this is still wet, but there we go. So what I want to show you, what did I do with the other piece of butterfly that I had? I always tell people I can stand still, not move, and still lose things. So we know I just had it. It's not... Ah, here it is. Okay, what I want to do, just to demonstrate the difference between the clear glitter and color, is... 1 second while I get my Wink of Stella pens. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Wink of Stella, I'm going to get the same two colors. It's going to be the last two that I pull out, right? Okay, there's purple. Blue. Gold. White. So I guess we'll have to use pink. I don't have exactly the same. But what I want to... I do have black. Alright, so what I want to show you while I'm doing this. Now, these came the same as the others, where it had a band around that you had to loosen. But I'm going to color in this butterfly with the Wink of Stella, which does... They have a clear one, but I have these color ones. So we're going to see what the difference is going to be when we use the pen that has the color and the glitter at the same time, and see if that makes a big difference. I'm sure it'll make some difference, but we'll see if it makes a big difference. And I think I'll be kind of artistic on this one and leave those white spaces. Well, I guess I already colored in some of them, didn't I? Sometimes, as the saying goes, my mouth doesn't hear, my ears don't hear what my mouth is saying. Okay, so that's the purple. And then we'll do some pink. When I first started using these, I thought you had to squeeze the color out each time, but you don't. Once you start it, you seldom have to go back in and squeeze it again. I guess you would call it priming, and once you have it primed, you don't need to do it again. At least I haven't ever had to. Maybe if you don't use them for a really long time, you might have to prime it again, but I kind of don't think so. I'm going to mix these a little bit too, to see what happens if we get any sort of blending. I think the purple's probably too dark to get that effect. So what I'm seeing already is this. Even though the base was dark, when we colored it in with the Plain Spectrum Noir colored pens, it actually showed up on the black. It shows as purple and red. This is only showing those colors where the black is not so intense. So where it was very black, it's staying very black. But there's nothing wrong. I think both looks are fine. But for what I'm planning to do, why I did this experiment, I'm going to want to do the coloring with the plain Spectrum Noir and then go over it with the glitter. So, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.